Welcome back to Elevation Perspective. My name is Mark, and today we are looking at 5 under-the-radar players who I can see being on the move this trade deadline season. We know some teams that will be sellers already, for example, the White Sox, Marlins, Rockies, Pirates, and Athletics. But we also have a good amount of teams in the middle of the pack right now that will have their fates decided over the next few weeks. We've heard the names like Sandy Alcantara, Mitch Keller, and Luis Robert in trade talks for what seems like forever. But today, let's try to find 5 players who have not been heavily talked about and discussed in realistic trade situations. The first player we're talking about today who I can see being traded is Jesus Sanchez of the Miami Marlins. Sanchez primarily plays right field for the Marlins. He's an adequate fielder, not a great Gold Glove caliber player by any means, but I think from an offensive standpoint, if you get Sanchez out of Miami and into a more talented lineup with a better hitting environment, his numbers could really shine. In 175 at-bats, Sanchez is hitting .263 with 6 home runs, 7 steals, and a .755 OPS. A look under the hood here at his Savant page, he's just a very solid player. Elite bat speed, strong exit velocities, and above-average walk rate. Just a player I can see really thriving if he wasn't playing half his games in Lone Depot Park. Sanchez does have 2 more years of team control, but at age 27, I'm not sure if he fits into the Marlins' future plans, looking at their next expected win window. I think a lot of teams could use a strong side platoon corner outfielder and would be willing to pay a moderate prospect return to get this player into their lineup. Player number 2, Eugenio Suarez of the Arizona Diamondbacks. So the Diamondbacks are in kind of a weird spot right now. Going into the year, most baseball people picked them to make the playoffs, and they currently do sit at 35-34, but that record does have them in 4th place in their own division. Their ace Corbin Burnes is out for the season, as well as their closer Justin Martinez. They have really important pieces in contract years like Suarez, Josh Naylor, Zach Gallen, and Merrill Kelly. I think the Diamondbacks are going to have their hands forced these next few weeks and realize while they do have a competitive team, given their injuries, they need to sell at least the players set to hit free agency. I think Suarez also makes sense to be moved because while a guy like Josh Naylor may be in their future plans beyond 2025, I don't think the Diamondbacks view Suarez in that way. They have Jordan Lawler, their top prospect, who has been dominating the minor league level. Because of their infield logjam, he has not yet gotten a real opportunity at the big league level, but if you move Suarez, that opens up third base for Lawler. While Suarez is incredibly streaky, he's been very solid this year so far, hitting .230 with 19 home runs and an .812 OPS. Suarez has seen his defensive metrics dip this year at his age 33 season, but his offensive profile is still very strong. He hits the ball really hard with a great barrel rate and a very manageable 25.8% K rate. I was looking at the surefire contending teams that I see buying at this deadline, and I could see Suarez fitting in almost anywhere. The Mets, Phillies, Yankees, Cubs, Brewers, Tigers could all use a right-handed power-hitting infielder on their teams. Player 3 is going to be Ryan O'Hearn of the Baltimore Orioles. So I think upon a little bit of research here, O'Hearn is an absolute no-brainer to be dealt from the Orioles. He's in a contract year for this 28-40 team, but I'm not sure how many people realize how good O'Hearn has been this season. In 203 at-bats, Ryan O'Hearn has a .310 batting average with 10 home runs and an .893 OPS. O'Hearn is another guy whose Savant page reflects really well on his actual performance. A .316 expected batting average is phenomenal in the 98th percentile. O'Hearn has also been solid defensively at right field and first base. While most of his damage does come against right-handed pitching, he has a .250 batting average against first lefties, at least showing he can hold his own. I think with only 2 months of team control left here before free agency, O'Hearn should not cost significant prospect capital, but could be a big boost to any contender's lineup. Player number 4, Jason Adam of the San Diego Padres. Adam is nasty in the back end of the Padres bullpen. Let's talk about how I came to this conclusion. The Padres are once again a very good team. They sit at 38-30 and will certainly be in a position to be buyers at the deadline. But to buy, you have to get rid of valuable assets, and when you look up and down the Padres roster, they don't have much to give up. The Padres farm system has been gutted with trades over the last few seasons. Looking at their needs, the Padres could certainly use another bat, probably a corner outfielder. They're currently running out Tyler Wade in left field. Also, their starting rotation with Michael King on the injured list gets pretty thin pretty fast after Dylan Cease and Nick Pivetta. Jason Adam has been one of the best relievers in baseball this season. In 34 games, he has a 1.59 ERA and a 1.21 whip, 34 innings, 38 strikeouts. While I know the Padres would hate to move Jason Adam with how good he's been, he is 33 years old with just 1 year of club control left. And with Robert Suarez and Jeremiah Estrada as elite high-leverage guys, I think Adam is your trade from position of strength to bring back a player or players that can make up for some of the roster's weaknesses. Last but not least here for player number 5, I want to go a little bit deeper here, a little bit more bold. Player number 5 of the Boston Red Sox, we're going to go with Wilyer Abreu. The Red Sox are another team just like the Diamondbacks where most people thought this would be a playoff team entering the year. They're not sellers just yet here at 35 and 36, but this move here is more of a roster logjam necessity than a sell-off. Abreu is on the injury list right now with an oblique strain. The Red Sox corresponding move was calling up the number 1 prospect in all of baseball, Roman Anthony. You look at that Red Sox outfield now with Jarren Duran, Ceddanne Rafaela, and either Roman Anthony or Wilyer Abreu, and it feels like a move needs to be made. We have seen some reports about Jarren Duran drawing interest, but to me, he's your second best player after Rafael Devers. That doesn't make a lot of sense to move him. Wilyer Abreu, to me at least, feels like the odd man out here in the Red Sox logjam outfield. And it is a shame because Abreu looks like a young, controllable player who looks very promising, but for those reasons, I think the Red Sox could look to move him for a pitcher in a similar controllable light. In 2025, Abreu was hitting .245 with 13 home runs and a .792 OPS while playing a great right field. He is also just 25 years old who is still pre-arbitration, meaning he's incredibly cheap for a very long time. It's very rare you see a player like this who looks this promising get moved, so it's not really exactly a blueprint to go off of. But looking around the league, I could see the Marlins loving a cheap 25-plus home run controllable bat who probably walks into the door and is their best hitter right out of the gates. Is Wilyer Abreu with another low-level prospect or two enough to part ways with Sandy Alcantara? That remains to be seen, but I think it's certainly a possibility. And that is the video, 5 under-the-radar players who I could see being moved this trade deadline season. If you like this video, please hit subscribe. Thank you for watching and have a great day.